Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Let's get this heart on straight. Happy, what is it today? Thursday, Friday, whatever it is for you. It's really good to be here with you guys. Hi, Lee. Hi, Chelsea. Hi, Donata. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Lars. Hi, Darren and Lynn and Bright, Sheila and Taz. Oh my goodness. You look great as well, Darren. Hi, Nalini. Hi, Romaine and Marianne, Dee, Sarah, Anna, Gail. Who else is here? Amber, Maria, Patricia, Elizabeth. Woohoo! Yay! Hi, Kelly and Marga, Sabine, Stephanie, Jennifer, Rose, Colette. Thanks for your patience and flexibility with letting me reschedule to today. I'm really, really happy to be here with you guys. Our last live of 2022. I don't know if we should cry or if we should jump up and down or if we should just stay as present as possible. Maybe all of the above. Hello, Amy and Petra. Ashleen, Marta, Mona, Beth. For those of you that don't know or didn't watch last week's group coaching call, I am in Hawaii right now. I'm on the island of Oahu, and I've just been going really deep in. I've been taking a really big time out, first time probably in years. So I've just been integrating and grounding more than I ever have in order to show up in a more aligned space for you and everybody else. And it's very, very necessary. Hi, Dee. I'm new to the live. If I need to leave early, is there a replay? Always. You just come right back to this crowdcast and you just hit play. And it's the same link for the live that you registered for and the replay. It's always up for a lifetime, so you'll have it forever. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? I'm going to wait a minute or two and just let everybody join, and then I want to just drop us into a quiet space for a moment before we do the Q&A. Just bring awareness to ourselves, to this moment, to our breath, to our body, to every single thing that we have gone through in 2022. Whether you've had an amazing year, a rocky year, everything in between. I want us to just sit in the presence of what we went through this past year, just to be able to be in awe of ourselves and our human journey. If you did not get to participate in Activate 2023, the live event I did on the 20th, I highly, highly recommend it. You can email us and we can send you the link to purchase it. If you don't have the $29 to purchase it, we are giving it away as for free as well. But let's sit for a moment before I begin. And before I do the housekeeping, before I do everything, let's just sit and be in awe of ourselves, of humanity, of the animals around us, of everything that has moved through these last 12 months. And yeah, and just spend a moment in silence. So you can keep your eyes open or you can close your eyes, whatever you want to do. But just drop for a moment. Just drop your shoulders for a moment. Maybe you're cleaning the house. You can still do this in activity, you can still do this while you're driving. Just feel your breath in your body. Feel your belly rise and fall. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel the calm or maybe the anxiety. Whatever's moving and arising, just feel it for a moment. Just let it all be felt. Feel the silence behind it all. Hear that bird in the background. And just recognize where you are today, December 29th or December 30th, or whatever day it is for you, January 1st. And in this moment, in this moment right here, right now, with your body, with your breath, with me, with everybody else in the community, just be in awe of where you started in January and everything that you have gone through. Just the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs, the roller coasters, the coasting. And then just the absolute presence of you right here, right now. The awareness that this body took you through that entire year. This body right here, right now. This breath right here, right now. And be proud of yourself. Pat yourself on the back, even if you don't believe that you deserve it. Have a little bit more compassion, maybe a little awe in how you navigated life without judgment. And just be aware of the expectations or attachments of what's to come. And realizing that no matter what you do going forward, it's perfect. It's perfect. Because you're still just right here with your body and your breath, figuring out how to navigate this human experience. And you're doing a pretty damn good job, regardless of what you think about yourself. And open your eyes. Okay. Welcome, 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 you guys. So just a little housekeeping before we get going with the Q&A. The January schedule is up. You should have received an email. I do want to let everybody know there is something wrong with Patreon right now where they are not sending out the replays. So I have emailed them multiple times. I have yet to get a response back over what's happening. So if you are not receiving the replay of the live events, just go into Crowdcast here or go into the actual Patreon page and you'll find the replays. So I did send the January schedule out a couple of days ago. You should have received an email with the schedule. If you didn't, just go into the Patreon page. You just go to www.patreon.com/lorieladd. Sign in and you'll see the January schedule. Our next live event, the very first one of 2023, is our mini session. I have decided to only do 2 mini sessions a month going forward. 3 was just a lot, and it just felt time to move it back to 2. So 2 people will receive a mini session live with me, and the event is on January 6th at 12 p.m. California time. The post will be out on the 30th. So once the post goes out, then you want to enter your name in the comment section of the post, not here on Crowdcast, but in the Patreon page. You enter your name, and then 2 people will be picked. Also, we have a tier 2 in Patreon that I rarely ever talk about. It's an additional $10 a month, and I give away one free 60-minute session each month. So if you want to have another opportunity to have a session with me, I recommend going into tier 2, and which is $39 a month. And every month on the 18th, I pick one name at random and they get a free 60-minute session with me. Okay, I think that is all of the, are there any questions about any of that before we go into the Q&A? I think we're good. Okay. Yeah, lots of ups and downs, lots of ups and downs. So for this live event, there should be, hopefully you have an area down below where it says ask a question. If you click that, you can enter your question in and I will answer as many questions as I can in the next hour and a half. I'm new. What is a mini session? Thank you, Deborah, for asking. I titled it a mini session. Basically, it's a live event like this, but two people separately, but two people come on screen with me and they receive, usually it's about 40 to 45 minutes of a session, a back and forth session, while the community gets to watch and gets to participate. And again, Deborah, the way that I pick these names is that when the post goes out, when the Patreon post goes out saying live mini session, January 6th at 12 p.m., you'll get an email. And you want to go into the Patreon page where the post is located. And you want to find where the comment section is. It's just right on the post. And you want to enter your name. And all you do is enter your name. You just put your name in the comment, or pick me and your name. And I choose two people at random the day before. So January 6th. Okay. Yeah, it's like a coaching session. Thanks, Kimma. Also, I did get your email, but I'm sort of on hiatus right now, so I haven't responded yet. But I did see your email, so I will be responding to it. I don't do one-on-one sessions outside of Patreon. Patreon is the only place that I offer sessions. If I ever offer paid sessions, I always offer them only to the Patreon community. I never offer sessions out to the public. And all the sessions that I do here are free. They're part of the community. Okay. Hope that makes sense, Deborah. Hope you understand. Hello, Martha from Texas. Let's get going with the questions and just see how everything flows. Does the second tier membership automatically enter your name? Yes, Ashley. If you're in the second tier, then you are, every month, your name is automatically entered into the, whatever it is, where I pick the name, the lottery or whatever, right? So yes, you don't have to do anything. On the 18th of each month, I choose one person from that tier 2. So just simply being in tier 2 allows you an opportunity for a 60-minute session. Okay. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. So if you vote on a question, these are going to be fun. If you vote on a question, it'll go up to the top. I'll do a couple top ones and then I'll make my way down. All right, let's start with number 1, Edward, 14 votes. Hi, Lori. I've recently been thinking about Donald Trump in light of his 2024 announcement. I'm curious if you still believe he's a light worker. I believe he is and still has a very important role to play in the grand scheme of things. Curious of your thoughts. Yeah, it's a great question. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt, right? Always. And always feel into what feels right for you and make your own opinions and beliefs through your own feeling. But here's my feelings around Donald Trump right now. So when I got that really big hit in 2020 about Donald Trump, I didn't really know the man. I didn't follow him. I just received a pretty big chunk of information around his role on the planet. Now, with everybody's role, right, whatever your contract is, there you still have the human experience to go through. You still have trauma. You still have a personality. You still have to be in the human experience. You still get inundated with ego and greed and all of that stuff. That doesn't mean that your role isn't to make a big impact. Okay. It just means that your role is to make a big impact and you may get distracted. There may be, you may fall into manipulation, greed, whatever that is. Okay. And that's the problem that people have when I did that video. They couldn't wrap their heads around somebody that has a personality like Donald Trump, that he could actually be a very potent light worker. Because you're thinking to yourself, well, if you're a light worker, you would have to be super, just there's not going to be that type of personality. It is what it is. What I was shown by my guides about a year ago, maybe a year and a half, I don't know, maybe a year ago, is that I don't want to go into like these darker sort of things that happen, but what they showed me was one of the reasons that Trump was able to fight the system in certain ways that other people may not have been able to is because of the amount of money he had. And he was able to do things in a way that he didn't have to be manipulated financially. Like he didn't take a salary, right? He paid for his own Secret Service. He didn't have the government pay for his Secret Service, stuff like that. Okay. So what they showed me was that the systems that be, the powers that be got him. They were able to finally get him and control him. And the way they were able to do that, what I was shown, take this with a grain of salt, but what I was shown was they were able to show somehow, they being the powers that be that kind of oversee the control of humanity, okay, that kind of are playing this chess game with humanity, that are behind the scenes, that they were able to showed Donald Trump that his children were no longer safe, that they had access to his children. And I don't know how they did that. And I don't know how they were able to show Trump this. But it was the threatening of his children in a way that they had never been threatened before. And whatever happened, there was this agreement. And so I don't feel like at this moment, he is necessarily doing his highest potential work. I think that he, like so many others, wanted to be able to fight the system perhaps and maybe make a difference. And I think that the system got him. That's how I feel. That doesn't mean that that's true. Take it with a grain of salt. I still believe that he's designed to be one of the most impactful kind of warriors here on the planet with us. That doesn't mean he's going to be able to do it, or that that doesn't mean that there's not going to be a lot of bumps in the road for this man, and that he's not controlled right now and manipulated. I don't think he's like the savior. I don't think he's any of that. I think he's just a consciousness, a light in a physical body that made an agreement and is doing his best on an unconscious sort of oversoul level to play out his role. And he's playing out a role that is very, very difficult. And at this point, I feel intuitively, based on what I was shown by my guides, that they got him. They were able to control him based on the threatening of his children. However, they were finally able to do that, if that makes sense. So again, I don't want to do politics. I won't be doing politics going forward. It's just too messy. But that is, a lot of people are probably going to come and ask me that question based on what I did 2 years ago with Trump. And yeah, so that Edward is kind of where how I feel with him. I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's a good person. I think he's just a human that took on a very big role in a very corrupt system. And I think his personality is so, you know, it's just so triggering for so many people. And that's kind of part of the purpose. And I think he's going to, you know, he has the potential to do some good stuff, but I also think that, you know, they got him. So we'll see. Who knows? I don't think there's one single president from this point forward that's not controlled at all. That's not going to happen. There's just not going to be every president is going to be in that controlled state, in my opinion, in my belief. Okay, Beatrice. Oh my God, yeah, the way he was cheated out of the last election showed me that they were terrified of him succeeding. Yeah, they got him, you know, it's like, there's a part of me that was really cheering on something that could potentially fight against, you know, there was always this like, holy shit, is he actually going to be able to do it? And yeah, he did a lot. In my opinion, he did a lot. But again, this isn't about politics. This is just about shifting a human consciousness. It's not about being a Republican or a Democrat. It's not about voting or not voting. It's not about any of that. It's about the evolution in human consciousness and showing humanity the systems that we are in. It's bringing awareness to what we are in. Right. And I think there are people on the planet that do that and that are going to continue to do that. Okay, Beatrice. Very touchy subject, right? Saying Donald Trump is, for whatever reason, a very sensitive subject. Okay, dear Lori. Hold on, let me just make sure this is off. Dear Lori, I have such a roller coaster of ups and downs, backlashes and failures for decades. I ask myself if it is possible to miss your purpose here on earth because of doubts, fears, and procrastination. What is your insight on this? It's impossible to miss your purpose because your purpose is in your beingness. It's in every moment. It's in your breath. It's in your walk. It's in your breathing. It's in your eating. Your purpose is right here, right now. So in asking this question, Beatrice, what you're being asked to be aware of or to look at is your beliefs, is your stories, is this attachment to trying to find your purpose so deeply that you miss the actual purpose. You know, so many of us are in this mode of searching. When you search, you're looking outside of you as if you're going to miss something. So there's an anxiety or a stress or a worry. And when you do that, then there's something always wrong with what you're in right now, because you hold the belief that you're not in doing your purpose. And you hold that belief because you believe that your purpose is a specific thing. And you hold that belief because you see other people doing a specific purpose work, or you've had lifetimes where you've done specific purpose work, or you just have the belief that purpose work looks like ... Your purpose is in your every single day. Your purpose is how you show up. Your purpose is simply being on the planet. People don't like that. But when you start to live from that state, that purpose just is right here, right now, and what happens if I settle into that, then a deeper sense of purpose arises. When you settle into my purpose is simply being here. My purpose is awareness of all of the limiting beliefs, all of my failures. Pay attention to how you speak. You just said, I have backlashes and failures for decades. There is a disappointment you hold. Maybe there's shame that you're holding. There's an expectation you're holding. There's judgments you're holding about yourself. And you're holding these, you're grabbing them, you're making them who you are. And then when you do that, you just perpetuate it. But you're none of that. You're none of what happened to you in the past. You're not the failures. You're not the ups and downs. You're not the backlashes. You're bringing awareness to the idea that you believe you're all of this, that your failures grab you, that your failures control your thoughts, so that you can drop into what simply is, what simply shows up. Be aware of what is controlling you. Be aware of it. And when you're aware of what is controlling you, typically, most of the time, that thought, the thoughts, the beliefs, let them be okay. Let it all be okay. And then you're going to say, but, okay, let the but be okay. Then you're going to say, but I'm not doing my purpose work. Let that be okay. Let go. But I'm miserable in my job. Let that be okay. But life sucks. Let that be okay. This energy that we are in right now and that we are walking into in 2023 is about practicing this. There's nowhere to go. There is no purpose to find. The purpose is right here, right now. The purpose is in every interaction you have. If there is more to be revealed in the purpose, it will be revealed to you the more that you let go of trying to find the purpose. And this is a deep practice, because you're going to get pulled into the limiting beliefs. You have doubts, you have fears, you have procrastinations. So what you're doing, Beatrice, is you're allowing the doubts, the fears, and the procrastination to create a truth, to create a story that pulls you out of being in life. It pulls you out. It makes something wrong. Your life is wrong. Your moments are wrong. Your beingness is wrong. And then it actually pulls you out of purpose, which is right here, right now. So it's not that you don't want to examine and be aware of and feel what it is that's arising, what you're moving through. You want to feel that. You want to acknowledge it. You want to see it. You want to let it get louder and louder. You're just not it. You're not attaching to it. You don't believe it. You're just observing it. Does this make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. And this is for all of us, every single one of us. We do this. You know, we do this. And these are the patterns that we are here to break. So we have to be aware of what we are searching for and stop searching for it, because there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to master. There's nothing to figure out. It's very, very difficult. But it's also very simple. It's the constant awareness of what's controlling you. It's the constant tapes playing in your mind. It's the constant emotions that pull you into the judgments, into the anxiety. And then it becomes a game of, okay, how do I just let this be okay? How do I let that be okay? How do I let this be okay? And finding little ways to become more and more and more present with what's arising in your brain and your mind and your thoughts, taking you, pulling you into the judgments, pulling you into the doubt, pulling you into all of that. Okay, Lisa. Dear Lori, every year as I write down what I want to release and let go of before the new year, I seem to write down the same things for years now. Awesome. Okay. Especially an underlying heaviness and senselessness. Maybe it's more about letting it be instead of letting go. But in Activate 2023, you also talked about letting go. So I'm wondering, what am I doing wrong here? You're doing nothing wrong. So don't get caught up in the actual words. Hold on one second. Isn't it, let me answer Beatrice. Isn't it a missing purpose to completely, isn't it a missing purpose to have attachment to outcome and limiting beliefs? I don't know what you mean. Isn't it a missing purpose if you have attachment to outcome? Well, the less that you have an attachment to a specific outcome, the easier it will be to surrender to what's showing up. Limiting beliefs are limiting beliefs. They're going to come and they're going to go. You want to observe the limiting beliefs, right? The limiting beliefs have nothing to do with purpose. Purpose is just being in the human experience, right? The attachment to a purpose is going to create suffering. I'm not saying this is easy. I'm just saying what is. So there's an awareness that you want to be of deeper service to humanity, but it's not showing up right here, right now for you in the way that you want it to. So what are you going to do? Fight against what is? Seek it? The seeker is the one that's in suffering. The more you seek for something, the more you will be in suffering. So you hold this kind of intention of the path you're on, being of more service to humanity, and letting the idea of what that looks like dissolve, and then letting yourself show you in every day your service, your purpose. Let go of the idea of what you think it looks like. Let go of that attachment. Not only will you let go of suffering, you'll let go of trying to find something, figure something out. Okay, you'll drop into deeper service. Okay, back to Lisa. Especially in underlying heaviness and senselessness. For years now, especially in underlying heaviness and senseless, maybe it's more about letting it be instead of letting go. But in Activate 2023, you also talked about letting go. Yeah, so I think you answered your own question, okay? And I think we have to really pay attention to what is our deepest resonance. You said maybe it's more about letting it be instead of letting it go. And I would say 1,000%. So we have to pay attention to the words that we attach to, and sometimes there are words, I'll just speak for myself, that I use that aren't necessarily the correct words, but it's the words that we use, and it's how we get the message across, right? And so we want to pay attention more to what is the energy behind what is being spoken. How are you feeling when you listened to Activate? What came up for you? It was like, oh, letting it be. Maybe it's more about letting it be. Let it be that every single year you write down the same thing. Let that be. Let it just be. Can you just let it be? Wow, I write down the same things every single year. Okay. Can I let that be okay? And feel into that. Drop into that. When you let things be, they can feel as if they are being let go. The more we try to control what we are letting go of, the more we may attach to it and create suffering around it. Does this make sense? So the letting go is like a surrendering deeper into what is, which is a beingness. When you let go, it's not a physical, or it's not like, I'm going to let this go. I'm going to let this go. That's a control. You're trying to control. I'm now letting this go. I'm going to let this go. It's like, you're actually not going to do anything. You're just going to show up and be. And when that which you thought you let go of pops in, you just let it be. You just observe it. You're aware of it. You're conscious of it. The more that we can do this, the more we will move in ease and grace in 2023. Okay, you write down all these things you want to release and let go of. And every year you're doing it again and again and again. Watch what happens when you say, so what? Watch what happens when you sort of chuckle at yourself. Oh, wow, look, I'm writing it down again. You move into softness. You move into a surrendered state. You move into, it is what it is. Okay, big deal. Let's do the next thing. It is this attachment to doing it right. This attachment to no longer having ... right? To no longer being in these patterns. To no longer, being in lack or limitation or, conditional love or whatever it is. The key is to be aware of how attached you are to it, how you try to figure it out, the stories around it, the anxiety, stress, and worry that is created. And then you start just simply observing it. You just let it be. And then when something comes up where it's like, okay, take action, then you take action. You're always taking action. You're always in movement. But for something like this that isn't tangible, like go to your job, right? Or pay your bill. These things that you're speaking of are not tangible things. They're cerebral. And they tend to control us more. And they're not even real. Right? It's just something you write down every year. So keep practicing that. When you feel the heaviness, wow, I'm feeling heaviness. Don't attach to the heaviness. When you feel the senselessness, wow, I'm feeling that senselessness again. One of the greatest tools that we can practice in 2023 is the observer. And stop fighting against what is. Andrea, hi people. Hi, Lori. People say that if your chakras are closed, you can't connect as well to your guides. Do you agree with this? If so, are there suggestions? I do not agree with that because I think that you can connect to the greatest expression of God in your body, regardless of whether your chakras are open or closed. That's a story. So no, I don't believe in that. I believe that you could close your eyes, find your breath, and immediately find yourself in bliss. I believe that you can close your eyes, find your breath, move into your body, and hear anything, if you believe so. this idea that we have to heal, that we have to be complete in some way, that we have to open up the chakras and have them spinning in a specific direction, and all these rules that we have to do in order to be the good student to receive, is a trap. The universe is inside of us. God, consciousness, is inside of you. Your guides are with you. Their energy is constantly moving through you. Now, when you have a chakra system that is spinning in full mode, right? Potentially, it could be maybe it could be a smoother experience. It's possible, but I don't believe that it's necessary. And I believe that all that does is get you caught up in trying to fix something. And there is nothing to fix. I would also say stop being attached to hearing your guides. The more that we are attached to hearing our guides, the more we'll be in suffering because we're not hearing our guides. So can you let go of trying to hear your guides? Can you let go of trying to figure out how you can hear your guides? And having whatever temper tantrums, we have this idea that if we let that go and if we just sat with the experience of ourselves and our breath and the knowingness that you are connected, the knowingness that there are guides, okay, the knowingness that in any moment you can connect, the knowingness that you're not alone. If you can dive into or connect to a knowingness as opposed to a doingness, all judgment will go away. And you'll most likely start connecting. The moment we let go of what we are trying so deeply to receive and experience is the moment we receive it or experience it. The more we are chasing after something, the more we will not see it. We're running from it by chasing it. You have to just stop. Stop the chase of all of it. This is really prominent in the spiritual community. We're chasing enlightenment, or we're chasing ascension, or we're chasing evolution. We're chasing connecting to guides. We're chasing higher frequencies. We're chasing something. We want something. The moment that you stop chasing is the moment you experience it. You will start to experience it because you're no longer trying to grab it. You know what I mean? Does this make sense, Andrea? If you're here, I would be very, very cautious going forward of anything that makes you believe that you have to fix yourself in order to receive it or experience it. That's a trap. In fact, I would say that the more that you can sit with yourself in silence and breath, the longer you can do that, the more you can do that throughout your day, the more you will connect to whatever it is that you want to call it. Sheila. Um, Jason Shirka and Unified. Patricia. Are you following him? What do you think about his work? I think what he is doing and how he is doing it. Jason is one of my dearest friends. Jason Shirka and I are, yeah, he's one of my dearest friends. I think what he's doing is amazing. I think he's got a very big purpose in this life, and I think he's fulfilling it. I think there's a lot of people that don't jive with him, and there's a lot of people that don't jive with a lot of people, but Jason Shirka has a very, very big role here, and he's a very young human. You know, we all have personalities. We all have shadow. We all have trauma. He's not perfect. He will never be perfect. You know, he messes up just like everybody else. But in terms of his purpose work, he's committed to it. Sheila, I have a huge imposter syndrome in my artwork, my spiritual life, and all the knowings I know to be true. And it does not help that I live at home with my parents, one of them with Alzheimer's and the other with hysteria. I'm exhausted all the time. I can't finish my projects for children. Am I held back because of the stress at home, or should I seek another way of expressing my highest truth? Okay. I don't think that you need to seek another way of expressing your highest truth, because that would simply just be chasing something else. And that will just keep you in a perpetual loop of suffering anyways. So I think what you are asking yourself to look at is simply the imposter syndrome. Just look at it, observe it, let the thoughts get louder, step into it, invite it in. Invite the imposter syndrome to sit with you. In fact, embrace the imposter syndrome. The part of you that plays in that imposter syndrome, invite her in. Let her be here. Let it be okay. The stress that you're feeling around the situation that you're in with your parents, there's a part of you that's experiencing that. Let that part of you in. What happens is that we fight against what's showing up. We fight against it. We battle it. We try to fix it, change it because it's not right. It doesn't feel good. What if there are no mistakes? What if you're exactly where you're supposed to be? And what if, Sheila, this is you practicing a deeper sense of calm in the midst of chaos? What if there is a deeper sense of guidance within you that's being asked of you to tap into, but the only way to do that is to allow the imposter, to allow the uncomfortable stress, to allow this idea that you're being held back by the stress, the idea that you're being held back because you're at home? What if you just let that be okay? Wow, I'm holding this idea that the stress is holding me back. No, but it's true. Okay, it's true. No, but there's nothing, I can't do anything. I can't work at my highest potential. Okay. But my art projects aren't being completed. Okay. What if you embraced that? What if you imagined with your eyes closed that in the table that you're sitting at, the Sheila that has the huge imposter syndrome with her artwork deeply insecure about it, not good enough. It's not what everybody else is doing, whatever that is. What if that part is sitting at the table and you're just saying, "What's up?" And she's telling you all of the issues, all the problems. Okay. Who else is here? Oh, the Sheila that's super stressed out because she's living with parents that are exhausting, perhaps. Okay. Can you drop into that? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe for 2 seconds you can, and then you're off to the races. What if it's simply in the imposter syndrome that the imposter syndrome dissolves? The awareness of it. It's like this big bad bully in the room, and you're afraid of it. The reason that we do what we do with these things, try to fix them, fight against them, etc. I get it. I've done it my whole life. It's because it doesn't feel good. And we know that we're not designed to be in the imposter syndrome. We know that we're designed to be able to finish projects, supposedly, right? We know that we are designed to be able to um, uh, be of service to children or whatever that is. But that already is here. You being able to complete artwork projects is already here. It's available beyond the imposter syndrome. So you have to surrender to the imposter syndrome. Pay attention to seeking another way of expressing your highest truth. Your highest truth is the acceptance of everything that is. Your highest truth isn't when you find the better project. Your highest truth isn't when you don't have stress. Your highest truth isn't when you're completing all of your projects. Your highest truth is when you are able to sit in all of it and allow it. That's the highest truth. Pay attention to when we try to seek outwardly in order to fix what is happening internally. Pay attention to that. You are courageous. You don't have to be more courageous, Sheila. You are courageous. There is no finding the courage. It's simply the awareness, right, of what you're afraid of. The awareness of, what if I just allow the imposter syndrome to be? Well, if I do that, it's going to take over. Sweetheart, it's already taking over. It can't take any more over of you. The dissolving of the imposter syndrome happens when we allow the imposter syndrome to be. When we embrace it. And it's hard because we have this belief, and you guys could replace the imposter syndrome with anything that you're fighting against, that you're resisting in your life. It's not easy. I say this all the time because I truly don't believe that it's easy, except that it's extremely easy, except that it's not easy. I woke up this morning, and so I've been really practicing being in the observer present state, just the observer in my body, in breath, in awareness in all of that, right? And I'm in a place where I can focus solely on that. And I am aware of the fact that I'm in a place that's allowing me to simply focus on that. I'm aware that I don't have to be in my real world, so to speak, right now. I'm aware of all of that. So it's a lot easier for me to be aware of everything. But what I noticed this morning when I woke up was, for the first time in 6 days, I had this anxiety around my work. I had this anxiety pop in. And then what I became aware of next was, oh my God, my thoughts. And then really became aware of where my thoughts were taking me. And I became aware of the fact that I was trying to figure out experiences, situations. I was following the thoughts as it led me down paths this morning. And I was like the commentator, I being the ego, okay, the one that was identifying as the ego, the one that has to figure things out and fix things. I was going down this path of these thoughts, and then what happens here, and then what if I do this, and then this happens. And I was aware. I was like, wow. And then another thought came that was extremely loud and wanted me to follow it. So I started following it. There's nothing wrong with following thoughts. There's nothing wrong with trying to figure things out. The key is to realize that you're in that. The key is to be the observer of you following the thought, not to fix the thought or stop the thought or change the thought. The key is to be aware of you in the thought path, and to be aware of where it's taking you. Where are your thoughts throughout your day taking you? And then another thought comes in, and then another thought comes in. And then it's like, okay, can I just allow these to be? No, I really need to figure this one out. Okay, let me look at that. Let me grab that because it's not me. None of it is you. What am I attached to? What am I changing? What am I fixing? What am I upset about? What, right? More and more awareness of it all. And then the answers arise when the answers arise. So if there's a new project for you, Sheila, the new project will arise when the new project is arising. It'll pop in. But the more that you can get present with all the thoughts, get present with all the stress, get present with all the anxiety, and simply allow it. It's okay. I am safe. Wow. Be in awe. That's the other thing that I have been experiencing while I'm here is, and what I'm really trying to tattoo in my body so that I can take it with me, eh, wherever I go in my days, is this sense of awe, wonder. Wow, look at that. Wow, look at that. Wow, look at that. Wow, look at that. Holy cow, look at what I just did. Holy cow, look at what I'm still experiencing. Wow, that, like a child's wonder. Okay, Angela. Hi, Lori and community. I'm trying to get out of a 20-year marriage for a while now. It's gotten really hard. He has gotten very abusive and tries to make me feel like I'm crazy and at fault for everything. We have 3 kids, and I rely on him financially. Even with his craziness, I feel bad for him and try my best to be kind. I feel so stuck, and I know that I need to call a lawyer, but I keep putting it off because of his threats. Okay, I'm trying my hardest to stay out of victim mentality. Okay. First of all, let the victim mentality be what it is. Just be aware of it. Okay. Let's just do that. Like, let the fact that you feel like you're a victim be okay. Let yourself be okay. Don't try to be anything other than what you're simply going through, what you're experiencing, because then all of it falls away. This idea that you're not supposed to be a victim, this idea that you're supposed to be strong, this idea that you're supposed to do this, and this idea that you're supposed to do that. Sometimes completely breaking down is where you find the most strength. When you stop trying to not be a victim, when you stop trying to be strong, when you stop trying to be courageous, and you simply vulnerably burn down. You let yourself feel so overwhelmed. You drop so deeply into the experience of what you're actually in that the fire within you ignites, and then you move forward. So pay attention, Angela, to how you are trying to courageously navigate something that is very challenging and very difficult. Pay attention to how you are beating yourself up about it. It's not good. It's not right. I should be doing it this way. I need to be doing it that way. I should have already done this. Pay attention to that. I'm doing everything perfectly. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm courageous. I'm strong. I feel helpless. I feel lost. I feel stuck. I feel scared. Drop into it all. Stop fighting against and trying to be the strong, the strength. When we try to be something, I'm trying to be courageous, I'm trying to be the strong one, then you're denying what is actually underneath that needs to be felt in order to actually truly experience strength and courage and power and fire. That actually occurs when you drop so deeply into the experience that you are trying to be courageous for. Does that make sense? So the more that you can have compassion for yourself in what the experience is that you're in, the faster you'll move through it. If you feel like you're experiencing victimhood, experience being the victim. Let being the victim be okay. The victim is now sitting at the table with you. Wow. That aspect of you that is the victim in all of this. Poor me. Why is this happening? Let her have a voice. Let it be okay. It's not you. The part of you that's judging you that you need to be out of this already, but you need him for your financial support. Let that part be at the table. Keep going. What else? Yep, you need him for financial support. Yep, that's the belief you're holding. Yep, okay. Who else is here? I have 3 kids. What's that going to look like? Is he going to take the kids from me? Is he going to get more abusive? Okay, get louder. What else? And the more that you can sit in what you're in, which is a lot, the more you allow what it is in to be there, the more in awe you're going to be, and the more power you're going to have to blaze through it, to not stop, to not care, to not worry, to not let the limiting beliefs of I'm a victim, I can't afford it, I don't know what's going to happen with my kids. These are all limiting beliefs. These are all things that need to be seen. They need to be invited in. They need to be given the microphone. Keep going. What else? Keep going. What else? Oh, yeah. What else? Okay. Keep going. Go on. Yep. You deserve to be heard. Yes. That's wow. Okay. There. You're the parent to all the parts of you that are being experienced right now that you think you need to conquer, that you think you need to, um, change. It's all real, meaning it's all what you're experiencing. He's abusive. He's getting more abusive. Pay attention to the thoughts. If I get the lawyer, he's going to be more abusive. Okay, just that's a thought. That's a belief. There's a part of me that's believing that. What part of you needs to sit at the table and get louder? That's a part of you outside of you that's not really you, but it's an aspect that's playing out. Put it at the dinner table. What else does it need to say? He's going to come after me if I go and get the lawyer. And if I go and do this, then he's going to get even louder. And then, okay, what part of me, let her be at the dinner table right now. I need to listen to her. Wow. Okay. I understand why you believe that. What can I do to assist you? I'm afraid to leave. Okay, great. That's okay. It makes sense. I would be too. You're soothing yourself. You're not ignoring yourself. You're not judging yourself. You're soothing yourself by being aware and being the observer of all these aspects of you that are being experienced right now. Don't try to stay out of anything. Invite it fucking in. Invite it in. The more we fight against, I'm trying my hardest to stay out of. No, hell no. Invite that victim part in. Hello. How loud do you want to get? Wowzers. You are a very loud piece right now. I know, but I really feel like I'm the victim. Yeah, I hear you. Keep going. I've been in this marriage for this long. I have no way of getting out. He's not making it any easier for me. I feel like giving up. Yeah, keep going. Of course you do. Go on. Makes sense. I'm looking at your life. Yes, keep going. I don't want to be in the victim. Of course you don't, but I am in it. Yep. Okay. And one of the ways that you can practice this is finding moments where you can get quiet with yourself. And don't tell me that you can't get quiet with yourself. That's bullshit. There is a moment in your day for 1 minute at least, minimum, that you can be quiet with yourself. That you can sit with yourself, that you can breathe, that you can bring awareness to what you're experiencing. Yeah, Kathleen said, start a loving kindness meditation practice. This 15 minutes of flowing compassion through you and for you will give you strength and clarity. I completely agree. I completely agree with what Kathleen said. You need more compassion for yourself. You need to be okay with what is in the midst of you stepping out of it. I'm telling you guys, the strength, the power, the fierceness comes when you surrender deeper into all of it. Okay. Lindsay, sorry, pressed the wrong button. My question is, are you still practicing urine therapy? And if so, what have you found the benefits to be? Right now, when I travel, it's a little bit more difficult. So it comes and goes. But right now, I have not been practicing it probably for about 2 weeks. But usually what I do is I drink at least one cup a day. And I just feel like it's medicine for me, you know? That's what I do right now. Maria, hi, Lori. Thank you for teaching us to feel and heal. It is priceless. What would your best advice be to us for getting it right in 2023? There is no right. You cannot get it right. You cannot get it right. That is how you get through 2023. And there is no getting through it either. There is no getting it right in life. The idea that you are going to get it right is going to create so much attachment and suffering. The same as getting it wrong. There is no getting it wrong. There truly is no getting it right or getting it wrong. The key is to be the observer of all of it. Just practice being the observer and your entire life is going to change. That's it. We can't get anything right. There's no such thing. I don't even know what that means, getting it right. What would getting it right mean? Truly, what would it mean? To me, what I am intending for 2023, not to get anything right. For me, I'm intending to be in less suffering through the awareness of me, through the observation of me. Though my intention for 2023 is to pay more attention to what I am fighting against or what I am trying to get out of or change. For me, the intention in 2023 or the practice for me is to be able to take what I am tattooing right now into my beingness, this practice that I'm doing right now in Hawaii, to take that into my everyday life where it's loud and chaotic and stressful and whatever. That's my practice. That's my intention. And there is no getting it right. Hell, fuck, no. Throw that out of your vocabulary. In fact, it's about getting it being messy, allowing it to just be messy shit show. Holy cow. And where is my presence and observation and awareness in all of that? Wow, look at how messy it is today. Wow, look at the fact that I'm trying to do it right. Wow, look at how I think I did it wrong. Practice that. Yeah, when you start observing yourself, you're going to start laughing at yourself. Sabine, I have had an underlying feeling of not being safe. It shows up for me in ways that I hide parts of myself. Yet I know that feeling. Girl, I know that feeling. Yet I know I am here to show up and shine my light. It's so scary because there is this big fear of it's dangerous, not safe to be all of me. Okay, let's just pause right there. Sabine, there's a part of you, okay, that is probably been in the forefront of your life that says it's dangerous and not safe to be all of me. It's dangerous and not safe to be all of me. It's dangerous and not safe to be all of me. Wow, okay. Let's practice bringing that part of you into awareness. It's dangerous for Sabine to be all of her. It's not safe for Sabine to be all of her. Wow, it's not safe. Huh. It's dangerous for Sabine to be all of her. Okay. Say it again. Wow. Sabine believes that it's dangerous to be all of her. Sabine believes that it's not safe. Do you realize what happens when you start doing that? It dissolves it. You start looking at it like, what? Okay. That's becoming the observer. And then the observer realizes how powerful that thought is. It's dangerous and not safe to be all of me. What happens before you become the observer is you are grabbing that, right? You're grabbing this experience and you're like, this is me. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what I need to fix. This is what I need to change. This is what my issue is. This is my problem. No, it's not. What you're being asked is to become the observer of it. I also know I came here to do big things, yet I am keeping myself small. No, there's a part of you that's keeping yourself small. There's a belief that you're keeping yourself small. There's a trail of thought that you're following that's keeping you small. What aspect is that? What path of thought do you go down where you start keeping yourself small? Wow, I keep myself small. Sabine keeps herself small. Sabine keeps herself small. Wow, Sabine also likes to keep herself small. Okay, Sabine doesn't feel safe in the world. She doesn't want to show all of herself. Sabine keeps herself small. Wow, look at all of the ways that Sabine is being. Wow, okay. I also know diseases pointed me there. It has a lot to do with being born as a female in a female body. Oh, okay. Another piece. Great. How can I move forward? There is no moving forward. You're just in it. And then the being in it is the movement. How can I move forward, go through this fear, release it? There is no releasing. Okay. Do you see how attached we get? Right? There's no releasing of that. There's no the fear just is. These aspects just are. How can you surrender deeper into how can you put your arms around them? How can you see them and wrap your arms around these parts of you? Can you let go of needing to do anything with it? The fear is the invitation in. The fear is the invitation into the aspect of you that is hiding parts of you because you don't feel safe to show up. The fear is inviting you into that. Make that louder. We do the opposite. We run from it. And all it's doing when we run from it is coming behind us. I'm here. I'm here. You're like, no, you're not. 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 This isn't good. I don't want this. I'm supposed to fix this. This keeps coming. It's controlling me. It's doing this. It's doing that. There's like you run from it and it's just like, turn around, face it, invite it in like a monster, and it dissolves. In fact, wrap your arms around it. But the only way that you can do that is you got to get it loud. Wow, Sabine feels like it's dangerous and not safe to be all of me. Sabine is keeping herself small. Wow. How often does that come up throughout your day? How often are you shown that? How often does that part of you that arises that isn't you? How often does it arise and you run from it? Or you grab onto it and believe it, and then there's a fear that it's true. And the fear that it's true is the part of you that it's trying to ignore that it's there. The fear that it's true is just you ignoring that it's there, trying to pretend it's not there. There's nothing that could be more true in its expression than those beliefs and those limiting thoughts. It's not who you are. It is not truth. But you need to be able to see the fact that you're running from the idea that it's truth. So you have to embrace it. You have to just let it be there. You have to realize the more you let it be there, the more you realize that it's not you. The more you look at it and give it a microphone, the more you realize how absurd it is. Sabine believes that it's dangerous and not safe to be all of me, all of her. Sabine believes it's not safe and it's dangerous to be all of her. That's insanity. That's nuts. But it's a part of you that's been playing out. Wow. Keep going. I'm curious. I'd love to hear more. Get curious. I want to hear more, Sabine. Keep going. Wow. You're trying to release the fear. Okay, great. Can you tell me more? Well, fear's not good. Fear's uncomfortable. Fear makes me feel out of control. Okay. What else? What if fear is actually just the invitation in so that you can break free? What if there's nothing to fix or change? What if it's simply the awareness of what is? Over and over and over again until you stop running from it and you stop believing it. And then who are you? Who are you beyond these beliefs? Who are you beyond it's not safe to be all of Sabine? Okay, and who are you? Drop into that. Who are you beyond the need to release the fear? Who are you beyond the being lost? I am at a loss. You're actually not at a loss. There's just an idea or belief that you're at a loss. I feel like here comes another Sabine sitting down at the table. Let's pull up chair number 4. What part of Sabine is this? I'm at a loss. Oh, okay, keep going. Why are you at a loss? I don't know what to do. I can't change anything. I can't fix anything. Oh, that's so, I get it. I understand. That makes sense. What else? Keep going. It dissolves. And then you realize you're none of it. And then you find yourself in some sort of state where you're just being you, whatever you is. And then you start navigating the world again. And then pop, here comes that Sabine part that says it's not safe to be all of Sabine. Oh, there you are again. Hello. Is that actually true? I believe it's true. Okay, but is it actually true? Like, is the awareness, the part of me that's observing you thinking that, does that part of me believe that? No. I know that's absurd. There's nothing to fix. It's the awareness of how absurd that is. And yet having compassion and love for the fact that there's a part of you that believes that so deeply that it's been driving your life. Where's the compassion? Where's the awe? It's this idea that we have to heal and fix these things that gets us stuck. It sounds so easy. That's the back and forth, the dichotomy of life, is that it sounds easy. Once you realize how easy it is, it also becomes very difficult. And yet the more difficult it comes, the more easy it becomes. but it's designed to be very easy. And yet in that ease, it can be very difficult because the deep, deep beliefs and these powerful, amazing thoughts pull us. And then we just observe, hop, here she comes again. Nothing to fix, nothing to change. Is it true? What if it's not true? Who am I actually? What if there's nothing I need to do? What if the freedom and the breaking free is in the awareness of it and letting it get louder? What if that's actually when you start showing up as your highest potential, whatever that is, which is simply just being present with what is, and then the Sabine part that you're looking for, that you're searching for, pops in. And it's not even an acting differently, Sabine. It's more, you will simply just shift. You'll just start shifting. And it's a shift that is, it's hard to describe in words. It's very much like an allowing of what is, and this deep sense of compassion for yourself, and a deep sense of knowing that whatever the part of you that wants to show up completely, right, and do all of the big things is right here, right now as well. She's sitting at the dinner table as well. The Sabine that is dying to be seen and heard, that really wants the microphone. Guess what? She's right here, right now too. She just hasn't really had the microphone yet. And the way that she gets the microphone is that the observer starts getting real compassionate with all the loud voices that are there. Is there anything else here? Are there any other voices here? Because these surely can't be the only voices. There's got to be more here. Oh, the Sabine that wants to show up in the world in all of her expression, serve humanity. Well, hello. Hi. What's up? And that Sabine's going to be like, that little bitch over there has been so mother freaking loud. I haven't been able to get the microphone. I know she's been really freaking loud. She's really been overtaking the stage. Yeah, and that one over there that's trying to get rid of fear and that feels at a loss, that one's been really loud too. Yeah, they've been loud. Who are you? What part do you play? Get curious. Get curious with everything that's going on inside of you. Start dialogue with this. And again, how do you do it? You do it the way, you do it the easiest way, which is sitting with yourself, getting quiet, finding breath, taking a time out from life for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay, Kai. Dear Lori, I am somewhat confused about the difference between being with what is without changing it versus setting personal boundaries. Beautiful. This arises particularly in situations involving other people. Yes, most of the time it does. Most of the time we set boundaries, personal boundaries with other people. As I understand it, sometimes, maybe most of the time, it's about letting things be without changing it, feeling it. Correct. Internally, yes. Though on the other hand, sometimes it is essential setting healthy boundaries, 1 bazillion%. How can I tell the difference? Thank you for all your amazing work. Yeah, it's a great question. So it's extremely important to set boundaries with other people as you are learning how to be in all of what is. Very important. We don't deserve to be beat up or abused or taken advantage of. Okay. We deserve to be seen and heard and accepted and loved and all of those things. Okay. It's very, very important. There are layers to this type of beingness and awareness that we're talking about, that we're stepping into, that we're being asked to stand in. You imagine that you're standing in a battlefield and all around you are humans that are in a lot of pain. They're in a lot of suffering. And what humans do when they're in pain and they're in suffering and they're very unconscious to everything, they will unconsciously project their pain and suffering onto you. It's not necessarily your job or your role to let them know what's going on. It is your role to take care of yourself by setting firm boundaries. Being with what is without changing it is a very tricky teaching in a way, because there's always this sort of knowingness that there is a progression happening. There's a surrendered action that's always being taken. You don't just lay on the couch and let life just happen. Let people just beat up on you. Oh, I'm just going to let it be. I'm just letting what is be. No. You are also living the human evolution. You're living the human experience. You stand up for yourself. You speak truths. You walk away if you need to. This idea that you're just like, okay, I'm just going to be with what is without changing it. That teaching to me and for me has to do with emotion, thought, belief, your own emotions, your own thoughts, your own beliefs that are moving through you. Can you just be with what it is without changing it? Can you allow it? That's what I mean when I speak that. Not, here comes somebody in your life who doesn't feel safe or doesn't feel good or is taking advantage of you. I never say, oh, just let that be. Don't change it. So I'll give you a very tiny example that is not even close to what you're probably talking about, but it is a very interesting example that happened this morning. I have been practicing, like I said to you guys, this awareness, this beingness, this observer, this presence, this awe of life, all of this, really, really practicing it, being in it. And this morning I was sitting in meditation, watching the sun rise. And I was just present. I was with my breath and I was aware of all the humans and I was in awe of the humans walking by, right? And the dogs and this woman was taking photos and she was showing everybody her photos. And my friend that's with me asked to see the photo. Can we see the photo that you took? And so she came over and she showed us the photo and then she just talked as the sun was rising, right? And talked and talked. And I was observing myself as the one that was listening to her talk, while I was also simultaneously like, wow, I'm missing the sunrise right now. Be the one that's being of service, right? Okay, this is all perfect. I'm allowing this. I'm watching this. I'm listening to this. I'm observing my own thoughts while she's not hearing and receiving the cues of communication. Like, oh, these people want to watch the sunset or sunrise. They were just in meditation. Maybe they don't want to hear every single trip that I ever went on in my entire life and how it looked and what I bought when I was there, right? So a lot of humans are very unconscious. Okay. And so you want to be aware of what's happening. You want to be aware of the transaction between you and that person. All right. You want to be aware of your thoughts. You don't want to just react, right? Which would my reaction would have been like, what the fuck is she doing? Why is she continuing to talk? You don't want to react and respond necessarily from that, but you want to pay attention to it. Why, I can't believe she's still talking. Holy cow. This is all perfect though. Just allow this. Then there becomes a moment where there is a boundary that's being stepped over. There's a moment where it's like, okay, this is too much. Right now, I'm going to put up a boundary. I got to that point. I got to the point where I was like, okay, the boundary, I'm now going to say it was really great speaking to you. Is she going to get that cue? Nope. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to put up another boundary and say something else, right? So you're steering this, but you're doing it not from a place of reactivity or you know, the thousands of thoughts that are going through your head. You're doing it through the observer. Oh, wow. They're now trying to imagine it's somebody that's coming into your life that's trying to you know, say things to influence you or not wanting to like you know, put you down or whatever that is. Like, oh wow, look, okay. Look at what they're doing. This doesn't feel good. I'm now going to put up a boundary. So there's a conscious observation. There's a conscious awareness of what's happening. There's a conscious awareness of how you're being, how they're being, right? So there's an acceptance of what is, there's an awareness of what is, and then you put up real freaking firm boundaries. You put up firm freaking boundaries. Renata or Sonia, last year you said many people will die. Is that what we are seeing now, i.e., SADS, heart attacks, strokes? Yeah, a lot of people, there's millions and millions of humans that are going to continue to die based on the agenda that is playing out. Yes. It's unfortunate. It hurts. It's sad. It's painful. It's a reality, which is why practicing being in this, practicing feeling, practicing being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your fears, the internal work is so important because the external shadow, the external fears, the external stuff isn't going anywhere. We can't hide from this. We can't pretend. We can't, you know, sugarcoat it. Yeah, it's a mass genocide that's happening. It's occurring. How do you feel about it? Do you want to argue with me? Do you want to yell at people? Do you feel sad? Do you want to hide? Do you want to run? Do you want to scream? Do you want to say absolutely not? I won't believe that. How do you want to be in it? How do you feel when I say that? What does it make you think? What does it make you? That's what we need to talk about. That's what we need to be in. That is what is. That's what 2023 is all about. Holy shit. Millions of humans are going to continue to pass out of the human body based on this corruption, right? Based on these agendas, based on this greed. Holy cow. Can I hold that? Nope, I'm not listening to that. Next. I'm not going to listen to Lori anymore. Nope. Okay. Or wow, can I sit with that? What does that actually mean? How does my heart break? That's what we're practicing. Renata. Hi, Lori. I had an over 20-year connection with a very powerful soul. I'm not sure what kind of connection it is, but all I know is that we were together for many lifetimes. In most, I was running away from this connection. We've seen each other the last 20 years. Oh, you just reconnected last month. And in over 2 weeks, I realized that this person performed black magic on me. And in the last 20 years, most of my health problems are coming from there. I feel strong, not afraid, but still don't know how safe I am because this person knows many infos about me. Do I need somebody helping me in this? No, unless you want to go get help. This is your life. This is your world. I don't have the answers for you. What I would ask is, are you still allowing them to be in your life? I would ask yourself, how do you know they did performed black magic? If you're saying that, then they most likely did, but did somebody tell you that, or is that something that intuitively came? It's amazing that you feel strong and not afraid. Pay attention to the belief that you don't know how safe you are. This person only has control over you if you let them. So pay attention to the Renatas that are at the table, experiencing this. What aspects of Renata are experiencing this, believing that perhaps he has control still, perhaps there's something to be afraid of? Like, what are the Renatas that are showing up? What would you need help with if you were searching for help? What help do you need? What are you looking to relieve? What are you looking, what's the help that you're looking for? That's what I would ask myself. What's the help that you're looking for? What do you think you need help in? Kimma, how specifically have you transformed a limiting belief that never returned? I'm not attached to a limiting belief going away. So it's not about transforming a limiting belief for me. It's about bringing so much awareness to the limiting belief that regardless of whether that limiting belief pops up or not, the simple act of observing it allows it to no longer have control over me. Then it becomes a choice of whether I am going to choose to walk down the path with that limiting belief or not. So I don't have I don't hold on to a limiting belief never returning or not. That doesn't bother me. I don't care if what we call a limiting belief returns or not. The only thing I am paying attention to is the limiting belief. That's it. As long as I can observe every thought, then I'm good. I'm good. If we hold the idea that a limiting belief is never going to return, what's going to happen when the limiting belief returns? You did something wrong, there's a judgment, etc. Okay, so just pay attention to that. The simple act, you guys, of observing releases the power that a limiting belief has. Does that make sense? Just start practicing the observing of the limiting thought. Oh, here comes that limiting thought. I'm not worthy, or I'm not lovable, or whatever it is. And then it pops in. It's like, okay, follow that thought. What else is that thought saying? Oh, it's telling me this, and it's saying this, and it's bringing me into this emotion, and now it's bringing me into this emotion. Where is that emotion in my body? Oh my God, it's anxiety, or it's stress, or wow, I'm really grabbing that limiting belief. The more that you can observe it, the more free you become of it. Okay? Become the observer of it. Don't think about it never returning. Chelsea, hi Lori. For the last couple of years, I've become really comfortable with writing people off, quietly burning bridges with anyone and everyone, almost apathetically. I don't feel bad about it, but I have completely isolated myself. I want friends, but I'm so exhausted with never being seen, heard, or understood. I would rather be alone. Okay. Can I still do good and step into my purpose while in isolation? Okay, here's what I want you to do. Or is this some deep limiting belief or fear? Here's what I want you to do, Chelsea. I want you to ask yourself, okay, I want you to imagine you're sitting around at a table. I'm actually sitting at a table, so it helps me very much when I'm doing this teaching. I want you to imagine you're sitting at a table and there's a Chelsea that sits at the chair next to you and says, and asks you, okay, can I still do good and step into my purpose? Chelsea's going to say to Chelsea, can I still do good and step into my purpose while in isolation? And I want you to observe that part of you that's asking you that question. What would you say back? And then she's going to say, well, is this a deep limiting belief or and fear? What would you say back to her? That's the observer. You tell me. Can you still do good and step into your purpose while in isolation? And what is isolation? Can you pull the part of you, the Chelsea that has been burning bridges quietly with what you say apathetically? You don't feel bad about it. Fabulous. Can that Chelsea sit down? Maybe that Chelsea's protecting you. Maybe that Chelsea is a badass. Maybe that Chelsea has been needing to get the microphone. Now she has the microphone. What else does she want to say? Does she feel proud? Has she been doing a good job? Does she feel like maybe she can quiet down? Of course you can. Of course you can. What you also want to ask the Chelsea that's asking you that question is what I would ask her is what is isolation? Is there even isolation? What is your story around isolation? Chelsea, can you tell me more about this whole idea of isolation? What's your story around isolation? I'm curious. What does isolation mean to you? Get curious with these parts of you that are showing up. Have conversation with them, have dialogue. Okay, not having any outside support. Wow, okay. That's isolation. Is that true for you right now? Yeah, I don't have any outside support. Okay. What else? Can you still do good without outside support? Yeah. Okay. Does it maybe feel a little uncomfortable for you? Stressful, anxiety, fearful that you don't have any outside support? This part of you may say, yeah, I'd rather have some support. It might feel good. This part of you over here that's been kicking people out of your life is going to say, hell no, absolutely not. I'm a badass. I don't need these people. I'm good right now. Okay. Just let these parts play. What else? Not having anyone to fall back on when I'm struggling. Beautiful. There you go. It's scary. Doesn't feel good. Maybe it makes you cry. Maybe it makes you get angry. Maybe it makes you sad. Yes. And how courageous are you? What a badass you are. Yes. Can you still do good and step into your purpose? Are you still amazing? Are you still incredible? Are you still doing the best you can? Can you see you? Can you observe that part of you that you perhaps have judgment around? Does it matter if it's a limiting belief or a fear? Or does it simply just need to be seen and loved and listened to? It's uncomfortable. Amen. It's very uncomfortable when you are experiencing not having any outside support. Yes. What else? Yep. What else? You see, when we just start letting it all be okay, it dissolves. The power of it dissolves. Right? So start talking to these aspects of you. Start sitting with these aspects of you. Start breathing with these aspects of you, which can just be thoughts. You know, the aspect of you that's sitting on the chair can just be a thought that's just pulling you down the path. And this aspect over here that's been cutting people off, that's a thought that's going to pull you down a path. Just be aware. Wow, here I go. Here I go. Crying it out now. Beautiful. You deserve to cry it out. You deserve to feel that. You deserve to feel the uncomfortable. Feel it. It's true. It's real. You don't have anyone to fall back on if you struggle. Yes. Dive in. Wow, how courageous of you to be in that, to see that, to feel that, to honor that, to accept that, to surrender to that. It doesn't have control over you. It's not who you are. But wow, the courage to observe it, the courage to feel it, the courage to see it, the courage to not be in the mind with it and try to figure it out. There's nothing to figure out. There's simply the awareness and the observer of it. And then it somehow is like, oh, get out of my way. Once you surrender so deeply to it that you allow it, okay, get out of my way. I've got work to do. That's the power. Hi, Joe. Hi, Lori. So grateful for you. My question is related to something. Oops. I don't know where Jill went. There you are. Something you mentioned in Activate 2023 about remembering our past year. I journal daily and went back into my journals from a year ago and noticed, damn, I'm still dealing with the same themes as now. And when somewhat horrified, but a friend mentioned perhaps the density of same issues is less now and the feelings around them move through more smoothly. Is this accurate or am I just hopelessly stuck? Okay, you are bringing awareness to this idea that you're hopelessly stuck. Am I hopelessly stuck? Maybe. You're bringing awareness to the fact that you're still whatever dealing with, right? The same themes. Okay. And yes, you are. And you know, we'll do the same exercise that we did with Chelsea, right? There's a Jill sitting over there that's like looking at the Jill saying, dude, I'm still doing the same themes. And the Jill says, yeah, you are. And well, is there something wrong with me? Of course not. Am I helpless? Of course you're not helpless. Do you feel helpless? I feel helpless. Okay. Feel helpless. Or hopeless. Hopelessly stuck. Yeah, okay. When you're in that belief, you're going to feel hopelessly stuck, okay? Are you hopelessly stuck? From my point of view, you're not hopelessly stuck, but you deserve to feel hopelessly stuck if that's what you're feeling. What else are you feeling? I should be out of this. Oh, okay. Are you out of it? What you believe to be in? I don't believe I'm out of it. Okay, cool. There you are. And then that Jill's going to look at you and say, but what are you in these things? No, I'm not. I'm just observing you. Oh, okay. Are you truly all of these things that you wrote down? No, but I'm experiencing them, so they feel very real. Okay, good. Yes, you are. So what? So what? What else? Be the observer. Amy. Hi, Lori. I've been spending a lot of time looking into some of the darker things happening in the world. Do you think it's better to not pay attention at all, or do you think there's a spiritual reason why I'm so interested in exploring this? It's like I've had a sense that we have all been lied to for so long, and now I just want to know what's really going on. Dive in, girl. Dive in. Keep going. Pay attention. Be in what is the drive right now. Let the magnet pull you. Don't make anything right or wrong, right? Don't say, oh my God, this is darker thing, so I shouldn't be paying attention to it. Just be with what is. There's an Amy sitting there that's like, okay, so let's do the same exercise. Okay. So there's an Amy over there that's so kind of excited to like, what else am I being lied to about? What else, what other darker stuff is, right? And you're like, wow, Amy, you're really into this. And the Amy's like, yeah, this is what I want to experience right now. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Keep going. Then there's an Amy over here that's going to pop up and say, yeah, but you shouldn't be doing that. Right. And so then the observer's like, what do you mean she shouldn't be doing that? It's like, well, that's not the right thing to do. The more spiritual thing to do is to stay out of that and to be in some, whatever that story is. Like, oh, wow, okay, keep going. What else? You're going to tell her what to do? Yeah, I'm going to tell her what to do. And this Amy's going to be like, I don't care. I just want to keep going. Right. Be the observer of all these little aspects, all these paths that you want to go down. Be the observer of it and just follow. Right? Just follow the magnet for you right now. What else am I being lied to about? Wow. Holy shit. What? And then pay attention to that part of you, the Amy that's going to be like, you need to stop doing that. And pay attention to the Amy that's like, no, I'm going to keep doing it. Watch all these different Amy's. Just watch them. You're good no matter what. Most of humanity is going to have to look at all the ways in which they've been lied to. They just don't want to. And that's okay. You're at the moment in the human journey, in this evolution, where you are now like, oh, are you telling me the CIA killed JFK? Are you telling me we may have never gone on the moon? Are you telling me that 9/11 was like, are you telling me like, yes. It's just what you're in. Let yourself be in it. Right? Yeah, it's multiple personalities. We all have them. Missy, when ending, oh my God, it's almost, whoa, we've been on this for 2 hours. Holy manoles. It's almost 1 o'clock. When ending a relationship, why do you say do not make it final? It's not that you don't need to make it final. It's an attachment to it needing to be final. It's just the attachment I'm speaking to. So when you're ending a relationship and you know that it's the end, okay, I've done this many times. And, I just stepped out of a very close friendship, right? And when I say don't make it final, what I mean is don't put the pressure on you that this has to be the absolute end all be all. So there's an awareness that you're ending something. There's an awareness that you don't want to be in this. There's an awareness that this isn't right for you, that you're done. Okay, let that be enough. But there's this thing that the human does, right? One of the aspects of us at the table that is like, this has to be absolutely final. This is the end all be all. You will never speak to them again. You will never see them again. You will never talk to them again. You will never text message them again. That's a very controlled, egoic aspect of us. Pay attention to it. Just be the observer of it. That's all I'm saying. When you don't need to make things final, meaning you don't need, that part doesn't need to come in and be a part of the letting go, the separation. You can just let go, and whatever arises next arises. Meaning, if you all of a sudden find yourself communicating with them in 2 weeks, let that just be okay. If you have the knowingness that something has ended and maybe it keeps doing this for a while, let that be okay. It's letting go of the suffering. That it has to be a certain way. That's going to create a huge amount of suffering, a huge amount of pressure, a huge amount of restriction in your life. Just let the ending of a relationship be the ending of the relationship in that moment, and that's enough. Does that make sense? Thank you for your guidance. Can I ask you to give advice to go deeper in surrendering practice, if possible? Surrendering, the deeper sense of surrendering is just it's the sense of observing what is. And then once you observe what is there a way that you can allow that to be okay? Can you observe it, and in the observation you're just allowing it to be okay in terms of the internal stuff? And then you're going to watch how you're going to want to control, and then you're going to watch how you're going to follow certain things, and you're going to watch how these things are uncomfortable. And can you allow that to be okay? And now I need to get up and go do this and this and this. Can you allow that to be okay? Now I need to control this person and control this conversation. Can you allow that to be okay? Now I'm all of a sudden doing this so that I don't feel anxiety. Can you let that be okay? Now all of a sudden I'm numbing myself with Netflix because I don't really want to look at the fact that I have to pay these bills or whatever. Can you allow that to be okay? That's the surrendering. Deeper surrenderance, deeper surrenderance. Any tips on starting an online community in 2023 for professionals navigating confusion and uncertainty, helping them show up in life? Start it. Just start it. Just start it. Magdalena, thank you so much for all your guidance. You are helping me enormously to feel my way through all the shit. Sometimes I want to quit my life, but then I have to think about my little son. He isn't even 2 years old, and I realize that he needs me. Is it normal to think about quitting your life sometimes? Actually, I am quite sure I am here for a reason and I want to live, but sometimes a real thunderstorm hits me. Okay. Everything you're feeling is normal because you're feeling it. Everything you're feeling deserves to be felt. Every moment that you want to quit deserves to be sitting at the table with you. You deserve to feel everything you're feeling. There is nothing wrong with what is showing up and arising within you to be felt and to be observed. There is no shame around it. Right? Let that part of you that wants to quit, that wants to give up, that wants to leave life, let her sit at the table. Give her the microphone. Because the more you allow her to speak, the less you're going to want to leave. She just needs to be heard. She needs to be seen. She needs to be held. She needs to have your arms around her. Life is tough. In her reality, in her awareness, life is very challenging. Life doesn't feel good. Life is not enjoyable. Keep going. What else? Right? This Magdalena is turning to you, the Magdalena that's the observer, and is just listening. It's just listening. It's this idea when we get into that state of, I don't want to call it depression. It's a feeling of like helplessness, that we identify so deeply with it, right? And it consumes us. Can you start being the observer of it by inviting it to the table with the you that's going to observe? Wow, you're feeling helpless. You're feeling this. You're feeling that. What does it feel like? Give me more. Tell me more. Get louder. What else? Then it dissolves the power that it's holding over you because you're just letting it be. You're inviting it to get louder. You're letting it in. And you're recognizing the beauty of it because it deserves to have that. It deserves to experience that. It deserves to feel that. Yes. But there's no mistake you're on the planet. There's no mistake that you have a child. There's no mistake that you're here in this. But do you deserve to allow yourself to feel everything? Yes. Is there anything wrong with you? No. Do you need to reach out for more support? Probably. Do you need to be okay with expressing you? Yeah. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to feel it all. And the Magdalena, looking at that Magdalena, loves her unconditionally, is in awe of her, wants to wrap her arms around her and say, it's going to be okay. You are okay. You've got this. But keep going. Go ahead, get louder. Because you, the Magdalena that's observing her, knows and isn't afraid of that aspect. I can't tell you the amount of times that I wanted to leave the planet. Many. And I didn't have this awareness of the observer of it. Now I do. Every once in a while, that voice creeps in and says, in fact, it just creeped in recently. And it's this voice that says, would it be easier if I wasn't here? Creeps in. Sometimes that voice still creeps in. And then it's this spotlight on it. What'd you say? I get curious with that voice, with that thought. What would it be like if you were no longer here, Lori? Well, I'd be looking down at the planet. I'd probably be pissed off that I wasn't doing my service work. I'd probably want to be back down there, and I sure the fuck don't want to start over. Okay. How difficult is it really on the planet? Well, it's not that difficult. Are you playing a role right now? Yeah, I'm playing the role of the human. Is it a gift? Yeah, it's a gift. You start dialoguing with the part of you that wants to leave. Get curious with the part of you that wants to leave. There is this really big, shadowy aspect of the human collective that doesn't want to talk about that believes that if we talk about it, that if we bring it up, that it's going to instigate or invite that behavior to play out. I think it's the opposite. I think it's the ignoring of it, the denying of it, the pushing it away, the pretending of it, the making it bad, the making it wrong, the unawareness of it that perhaps could potentially bring about the action of leaving the planet. Instead, get loud with that voice, get curious. Listen to how ridiculous it is, but give it permission to feel. It just needs to be heard. It needs to be allowed to feel. It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be acknowledged, Magdalena. You need to acknowledge the pain, the sadness. It doesn't have control over you. It's simply part of the dinner. And it deserves way more love, way more compassion. It deserves a standing ovation. Because I can promise you that you don't want to not be here. And when thunderstorms hit you, Observe yourself in the thunderstorm. That's 2023. Can you observe yourselves in the thunderstorms? Can you be in awe of yourself in the thunderstorm? Can you cheer yourself on in the thunderstorm? Can you wrap your arms around you in the thunderstorm? Can you give the microphone over to the aspect of you that's sitting in the thunderstorm? Let it have a voice. Yeah, there's a bird out there. Can you hear it? That's going away. Okay, there we go. Let this Q&A, let these messages that came through today be the call of how to walk into 2023. See your dinner table or your breakfast table. See you. Pay attention. Give the microphone to those thoughts. Don't run. Stand in it. Let it get louder. Practice throughout your day and days of being the observer. Perhaps for some of you, holding firmer boundaries. Perhaps for some of you, getting out there, speaking more of who you are, showing up, doing it. For some of you, it's breaking down even more and feeling and allowing and surrendering. Be in awe. How much awe can you hold as you walk about your day? The awe of a car. Like, what the freak is a car? The awe of a dog. Oh my God, there's a dog on a leash and a human's walking it. The awe of a squirrel, the awe of a bird, the awe of the clouds, the awe of you, the awe of a grocery store, the awe of cooking, the awe of chewing your food and eating it. Can you feel your food today? Feel your mouth chewing the food. I did that last night, probably for the first time ever. I was in such a state, I put myself in such a state of beingness that I was like, all right, let's be aware of the jaw moving. Let's be aware of the teeth breaking down the carrot. Can you feel the crevices of the carrot, right? Can you feel it going down your throat? I was in awe. I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. What the fuck? I could hear the sound of the teeth, right? I always do this. I've never done it. I was in awe. I was like, okay, whatever this moment is, this is beauty. This is life. This is life. Find life in everything you're going through. Mindfulness, yeah. Find beauty and find little moments of beauty throughout your day. See how courageous you are. Count to 20 as you chew. It keeps you present. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. So again, the January schedule is up, and our next live event is the mini session. 2 people I will be polling up on screen to receive probably about 40 to 45-minute one-on-ones with me live during the mini session. It's January 6th, 12 p.m. California time. The way you put your name into the pool in order to be picked is that you go to the post on Patreon, not Crowdcast. We're on Crowdcast right now. You want to go on Patreon. You want to find the post that says live mini session, December 6th, and you want to put your name in the comments. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being with me throughout the entire 2022. I am beyond humble and excited to step into 2023 and to see what it's going to offer us, provide us, show us, allow us to be in. Have an amazing New Year's Eve. Whatever you do or don't do, be much more gentle on yourself and others out there. Remember that every human is doing the best they can. They too are in pain. They too are in fear, perhaps, or suffering, or whatever they may be in. And we just can't see it. And I will see you on the 6th, or else on Untangled on Tuesday, January 1st. No, January 3rd. What is it? Whatever it is. The next Untangled. I love you. Be gentle with yourselves and others. Thanks for being here.